Hello, and welcome back to the Pretty Little Podcast. We're your hosts.
My name is Phoebe.
And my name is Caroline. And today we are recapping season 7, episode 13 of Pretty Little Liars, called
Hold Your Peace.
It's spelled differently, you guys. It's spelled sort of like a, how do you say, puzzle piece? Do you think it has a play on words?
It might be. Except it sucks because you know who won't be holding her puzzle piece?
Who?
Hannah.
The great thing about that is when I said who, I really meant it, because obviously you guys know we didn't release this episode last week. Although we were prepared, notes had been taken, episodes had been watched, kidney stone had not yet breached. It is now on the move, and as of the time of this recording, there's still no kidney stone outside of my body, just the ones inside. But I did not rewatch the episode in the time between that and now. I know you did, so you're kind of going to be our spirit guide a little bit. So lucky you. Like, I hope you're up for it. I hope you're freaking out for it. Is all I can say.
I hope you are up for your recap.
I mean, I've got some notes. I've got some notes for sure. I'm trying to hang on to my battery. 1 second. Okay. Well, I'll get into the recap. We'll see what happens. This is as much for me as it is for you. So Toby and Yvonne, if you all remember, they were in a horrible car accident at the same time that Noel Kahn was being beheaded. Like, there was like a lot going on at this time. Spencer was shot. That all went down, and Yvonne has been in the hospital ever since. If you will remember, Hannah started a fashion line backed by Lucas, who has turned out to be really one of the best friends she could have asked for. Who would have thought that Lucas and Mona would kind of be the Hannah Marin dream team? But that's where we are. Mona is helping her get the connection she needs. She's dressing, I think, the senator or the governor's daughter or something. And so things are really looking up for Hannah in the business realm. But of course, AD is here to play, and literally, we are playing a game. A has created, honestly, quite a gorgeous board game. It's prettier than any game of life or Monopoly I've ever seen, even the ones in Anthropology. But are you okay?
Massive fly or something. Did you just see it?
Oh my God. Well, I didn't see the fly, but I certainly saw a massive reaction to said fly. It wasn't big enough for me to see it.
What just also flew by the camera?
Well,
hate.
Okay. Fame hungry. Okay, wait your turn. You'll get your moment, Fly. My God. Oh my God.
You know that girl who made the TikTok about Rock Your Body by the Black Eyed Peas? And
Maybe.
She was like, when I hear this song, I like to think that the high-pitched voice is like a flea that lives at the club. And one day, the microphone just like fell right in front of the flea, and
as
he
it was
started
going, rock
singing,
your body, that part,
and then he starts realizing that everybody's loving it, and so he gets like more and more hyped as he's
more
singing.
confident. He's like, okay, I'm gonna throw in a few vocal runs. Why not? Like, why not try something new? I take this up an octave. Anyway, so we've got this game, and the way the game works is it can see you, it can hear you, and it can torture you. And so Spencer has already retrieved something, a gift from the game. She had to go visit Toby in the hospital. As a gift, she got a letter that Mary Drake, oh my God, her mom, her biological mother, wrote her the day that she was born. So we know for sure that Mary Drake is Spencer's mommy, and Spencer is definitely struggling with that. And we're seeing Vivi, the most maternal we've ever seen her. So it's a mind fuck for me. I can't imagine how it is for Spency. Ezra's in New York City with Nicole, who everyone seems to think is also his fiance. Aria seems like the only one who's not in on that. Aria's like, no, I'm the fiance. And they're on the news, Ezra Fitz and his fiance, Nicole. It couldn't be more clear that that they're in a relationship, and Aria, you're the one who's all alone. So Aria's kind of freaking out, and let me just say, team Aria on this one. We found out, the dress that Hannah was designing for Catherine Daly isn't actually totally hers, because Claudia, her old boss, had given her a lot of ideas for it. So she's a little bit worried to use it. She thinks that AD might use it against her. Of course, she can't really communicate this to Caleb because the guys don't really know what's going on with AD. Emily is being blackmailed by a student whose name is Addison. Might as well be Allison. She is giving us old school Sasha Petersa in the worst way. And she basically is creating stories that Emily is coming on to her. And Emily's handling this absolutely in the wrong way if you ask me. But I mean, no matter what, unfair. And Sydney, that girl is back who was like pretending to be Jenna. She's maybe doing Jenna's bidding. I don't really remember what her whole deal is, but she's here and she's bad freaking news. And that's all I have. So I feel like that's enough to get us up to speed.
That sounds good to me.
Can I tell you something? I hate the sound of a fake baby crying. I hate it. I hate it. In this episode, I kept being like, when will this be over? And then it was over. And it was like, it never happened. They never even acknowledged it. I was like, so did we need that? Did you need to like subject me to that torture? I also hate it on Love Island when they do it. I'm like, no, thanks.
I also think this is not really about that. This is just a general commentary on the episode.
Mm-hmm.
The acting in this episode was really weird to me. There were a couple scenes where I'm like, different. The dialogue, like the way that the dialogue was written and the way that they're speaking and interacting with each other feels different than any other episode of this show that I've watched in a bad way.
And derogatory. It's just a real clear derogatory. So Spencer wakes up, we're in the barn, and there is a baby crying somewhere. I'm like, imagine AD put a real life baby and was like, figure out who this belongs to. Good luck. You just found your mommy, now find this baby's mommy. And they're like actually wanted for kidnapping. That would have been dark. Hey, AD, ask me next time. Anyway, so Spencer wakes up to a baby crying and it's on the phone that comes with the game, and she like turns it off or something, goes back to bed, keeps fucking happening. That girl's not sleeping. A wink. Not a wink.
And then she puts it in a pillow and she calls her best friends over. And Aria can't believe that she's being bothered with this at all.
They go, can we lock it up in Allie's house? Is Allie home?
No, Allie is on vacation.
I forgot that for a second. I was like, okay, savage. They're like, fuck her, honestly. Can we just lock
and
it up
Emily
there?
goes, guys, a baby crying is the last thing she needs. And they're like, why? And she's like, because she has a lot going on now.
She's working through some things. I don't know why. Don't ask me. Of course I know, because I'm definitely the closest to her. I'm definitely her favorite. Did you guys know that? Anyway,
Hannah or Aria says, is she changing her last name? Because she should.
They go, Allison Rollins sounds like a mouthful of muffin. And honestly,
and then
true.
Emily, they're all at each other's throats, probably because Spencer called them over here at 3 a.m. and this baby is still crying.
And they're also showing, I mean, okay, guys, if you were wondering if parenthood is cut out for you, if you're watching the show or if you're in the show, that's what this scene is for. They're just saying how long until we all freaking crack. Okay, they're at each other's throats because that's what will happen to you if you're surrounded by the sounds of baby screaming. And like, I mean specifically the like tinny manufactured baby crying sound, because I hate the sound of a baby crying, but like I'm not a cold-blooded monster. Like I can handle it, you know. But no, not these.
Emily's like, well, it can't come to my house because Caleb already snores. And Hannah's like, no, he doesn't. And Emily says, yes, he does. And then
Emily's like, then is it you? Okay, if it's not Caleb, then is it you?
I am a little bit like, Spencer, did you expect one of them to come over here and be like, sure,
I'll take it. I'll take my shift with the baby phone. No, I know. I do wonder, like, was it just sort of a like, if I have to deal with it, we all have to deal with it? Here's an idea. Get out of the freaking house. I know it's 3 a.m. Go for a drive. Leave the phone
in the
at
barn
home.
And go sleep in your childhood bedroom, Spencer.
Yeah, which they suggest to her, and she's like, oh, I can't go in there. And it's like,
okay, well, that's
you can choose to be
problem.
dramatic or you can choose to be in hell. That's up to you. It's actually totally up to you, Spence. Also, like, you're in the barn, just put it outside. I guess people would like come
people are
looking
gonna be
for
like,
it.
what the fuck is that?
True. I guess that would draw a little bit more.
Caroline Connell, the neighbor, would be like, what the fuck is that?
What
it's
is
a fake
that?
Artificial baby noise.
I hate the manufactured baby cries, and everybody knows that in the neighborhood. I let everybody know when I moved in here, don't play artificial baby sounds.
Ezra is still out of town, and one of them suggests like literally it's like they're trying to tiptoe around the 3-headed dog in Harry Potter.
Fluffy.
The way that they're about to say, are we allowed to say that this could be Mary Drake?
And it's like, why wasn't that the first thing that we said? And Spencer's like, that's my mommy. That's mama. Stop talking about mama that way. That's what Spencer's saying. She's like, Mary. Sorry, I only know her as mom now. You mean mother, darling? I don't think so.
I forgot her name.
I don't think she would do that to her own daughter.
And then
she's conveniently forgotten everything that's ever happened. She's my mom. She's my mama.
The baby noise stops, and we learn that it's Hannah's turn, and she has to keep the phone.
The screen says, play with me, Hannah.
Ew.
Literally shivers down my spine vibes.
This is the first scene that we get where the acting is weird to me. The way that they're all talking This scene in the loft that we're about to go to, where
So the scene with Hannah. Okay. That's the Hannah's
well,
main
no,
scene.
Hannah's not even really the weird one in this. It's mainly Caleb and Emily, but Hannah does have a couple deliveries where I'm like, that just is. You can tell that none of them want to be saying these lines.
Yeah. I mean, there have been a few moments just watching this season that I'm like, you can tell
They're
even
kind of over it.
Yeah, and I don't blame them. I wonder too, like I know that the girls had a little bit more say in their costuming. So one thing that a lot of people like hate about these later seasons is that in the beginning seasons they are so their character types. Like they dress, it's so specific and it's so like not pedestrian. You know, they're not really clothes that girls were wearing. And that's part of what we liked about it. And now as 20-something-year-olds, they're dressing and I think part of it is like we were looking at 16-year-old girls dressing as though they're 30 and have the wardrobes of women who have been collecting pieces their entire lives. Like, so that's why it looked out of place.
Watched an episode last night where Spencer's in a tie, Hannah's in a blazer, but also
exactly.
like
the pilot
has a scarf. No. This is like towards the end of season 1.
Okay.
Hannah's in like a royal blue blazer with like the frilly shoulders.
I can see it
and
in my
she
head.
has a black like thin scarf that she has kind of tied like a tie, and Aria's also in business casual, and then they walk up to Emily, who's standing at her locker in khaki skirt and a t-shirt.
Emily's standing there in her swim team Speedo. And they're like, girl, this is against dress code. Anyway, I think that the girls, like, you can also tell that they like don't care as much about like not what they're looking like, but like they're like, I just want to fucking be comfortable and dress how I want to dress.
That, and I also think like in this scene they don't really care about these new added things to their characters that aren't like the fashion stuff. Like I feel like every time they talk about it, you're like, Ashley Benson looks like she wants to die right now.
Yeah.
And this is an example of it. So they're talking about how Caleb comes in and he's like, Hannah, you're in style. Like the way he just delivers all of these lines, we're seeing that Hannah's fashion, her dress that she gave to the senator's daughter is being talked about
page
in the press.
1 of the style section, which is a huge deal. But can you imagine if you were already scared, thinking that like you kind of might get caught, but you just don't think it will happen?
Exactly.
Take out that we've got a creepy stalker who's looking for moments like this. I can't imagine the stress of seeing me on page 1 of the style section, knowing that this dress isn't totally mine.
And then Emily has to slip this into this is what I'm talking about too. They're trying to slip in these details in a way that just it's not natural at all, because Emily's like, oh, perfect, you'll be able to take this newspaper. Don't you have dinner tonight with Lucas and the investors?
And like, but we can do champagne now to celebrate. It is really,
I have some
like,
bubbly in the fridge. That's how she delivers it. I have some bubbly in the fridge.
But I have
and
to
Caleb goes, perfect, I'll get the glasses.
I do just like love how proud Caleb is. He snapped back so fast. Like he was so ready to be back with Hannah again. And I think it also like there's something so much sweeter about the pride that Caleb has for Hannah than any pride he would have for Spencer. Because Spencer is not doing it to make anyone else proud. Like she's going to make herself proud or die trying. Hannah's like, I rarely make myself proud. I like it can just hope that maybe somebody in my life will be proud, you know? And Caleb is just like there, ready to give it to her. I just think it's so sweet. But anyway, Emily's reading Runway Rebel.
She goes
the new fashion blog.
She goes, hey, who's Runway
little
Rebel?
Focus here? It's giving a little focus here.
And Hannah explains who she is, and she goes, she is really making a name for herself. Wait, before this, she also goes, keep looking in there. All press is good press these days.
It's sad because Hannah's like starting and she's like, okay, fuck yeah, let's have some champagne. Tonight's gonna be great. I'm so proud. And then Emily's like, yeah, so this in this article, whoa, here you are mentioned. It says stolen design on senator's daughter.
And the whole Emily does not want to say this, because first she like sees Hannah's design in the magazine, I'm sure, and it's like, oh my god, who's Runway Rebel? And then Hannah says that, and then Caleb goes, did she say something about Hannah? And Emily goes, yeah, I think so.
Or Emily was hoping Hannah was gonna be like, I don't know, it's probably just some like brand new. Hannah's like, yeah, they're doing it's huge. It's like Dumois. Like it's like everyone sees it, and that makes it even worse for Emily to deliver this.
Caleb like puts a gun to Emily's head and is like, what did they say about Hannah? Let's hear it.
I asked you if they mentioned Hannah. So speak up.
And yeah, stolen design on Senator's daughter.
So we're at the brew. Spencer runs into Toby here. She says she's been meaning to come by. I'm like so confused also. It feels a little sloppy, feels a little lazy, like their relationship at this point. I'm just like, okay, so you haven't seen him since the hospital where things were like really intense, and now you're like just running into him at the brew. I didn't think he was supposed to like really be here. There's also a line later where Yvonne says like, I thought we were going to be moving into our brand new house or finally moving into our house. Our house is finally move-in ready. I'm like, the house you're giving to someone else? The house?
No,
what?
I think that maybe that was like her, like she's like slipping.
Oh. Okay, well, it wasn't obvious enough. Okay, there. Wasn't on the nose enough. I catch everything. As somebody said, I'm like Aria, and I'm reading between the freaking lines.
Me, I want to interview that person.
Me too, and I want to say, hey, what the fuck made you think that? I don't give Aria vibes. Just kidding. I know sometimes I do.
Just trying to explain to someone, I was like, calling someone in the Road Warrior community in Aria is like a literal slur.
How dare you? And I was like, maybe this person hasn't been here. I don't remember what episode she commented on it, but I was like,
Grave New World. It was a while ago.
Yeah, so I'm like, maybe she just like doesn't get it yet. She doesn't realize. But she's gonna get to this episode and be like, and click, and turning off the show. Caroline's a total. Actually, Caroline's a Mona.
And
Actually, Caroline's
star.
an Allison DeLaurentis. She's a fucking bitch. True.
Well, we've always known that we're mean girls. Apparently.
Well, that's
what the
true.
internet
Everyone's
says.
always known that. But anyway. Okay, so Yvonne is now out of her coma, which is great. And Spencer's like, well, I've been reading about these different medications that could be helpful. Hey, Spencer, shut the fuck up. And Toby says the same thing. He's like, yeah, gotta go. And that's when Floozy walks in. Like, Spencer, hey, but you've done enough. Thanks.
I just don't believe this was the best actor available to play this guy.
Floozy?
He is so annoying.
I know. He is.
Everything he says pisses me off.
His shirt is also completely see-through. Like, okay, you're a cop. You're allowed to wear see-through clothes out here? When you're off the clock, you can wear see-through clothes? Okay, you're not going to a rave on Fire Island. Are you wearing a mesh top? He's wearing a neon green mesh top. Just kidding.
Why are you Lena Dunham in Girls when she's on cocaine?
Exactly. Why? So anyway, Floozy comes in. He's like, let me buy you a coffee. Do you go for the fancy stuff? And she says, I prefer full strength. Okay, pick me moment for Spencer. Add it to the tally. You know how in New Girl they have the douchebag jar? We've got the pick me jar or the Aria jar.
Yeah. This is just the Aria jar.
Yeah, but Spencer hasn't been responding to Floozy. She's like, sorry, I kind of have to focus on the people in my life who have gone missing. So,
like my mom.
yeah, I have some stuff. And he goes, is that me? And it's like, no, dude, she just told you you're obviously not missing. You've been texting her and she hasn't been responding. I hate that. You're obviously not missing. She knows that. She's been ignoring you on purpose, dude. Anyway, he's like, come with me, let's go. And they get the coffee to go, and they're going to go have a day together.
So we go to Ezra's loft, and
I think we're at Lucas's.
My thing went the wrong way.
We find out basically that
Oh no. We are at Ezra's loft. The scoop at the in the newspaper came from an anonymous source, and this is where we have a classic. Aria just can't help herself because
I know.
Hannah says you can't spell anonymous without AD, and Aria goes, "Well, yes, you can."
No, she doesn't.
Sorry, I get your point.
I love you so much, Phoebe, but God, you butcher line readings.
Just go for it. Just say it.
Hannah goes, you can't spell anonymous without AD, and Aria goes, technically there's no D in anonymous, but I get your point. It's like so much worse. Sorry.
It is.
It's like, okay, you didn't. And
I remember things more kindly.
Yeah. Not me. I remember them worse, if anything. I can see the sneer on her fucking face when she said it. But like, yeah, let's not kick her while she's down, bitch. I hated that, and I was like, and the
also like, Aria, you do know what
that
you mean.
Is what took it over the edge for me, which is why I was just like, I needed to hear that. And then they're like, well, blind item, blind girl. Post is probably from Jenna. So funny.
And Caleb says whatever Jenna said, okay, Jenna checked out of the Radley, we find out. So now they're looking for Sydney. And then Aria is like, how can I help? And Caleb goes, well, I could maybe give you a little one-on-one class on how to blue
Like,
snarf.
not the blue snarfing again. Oh my God.
Not again.
And I still don't know what the fuck it is. But I would rather hear Mona talk about it than you, Aria. Aria's in her, like, I learned a thing or two from Caleb.
No, literally.
And it's driving me nuts.
And then, so Aria says, okay, yeah, teach me stuff. Caleb starts talking. Aria immediately in Aria world.
Yes, 100%. Well,
She looks at the TV and she sees Nicole again.
I
doing a
mean,
little interview.
I do have to give it to Aria, though. Can you imagine? Like, how horrible would this be? I would be
It'd be terrible.
crashing out in, like, a biblical sense. Like, there would be no bringing me back down to earth until I had gone scorched earth on one Ezra Fitz. Like, there's just no possible way I could think or do anything else. I mean, right? I would be sitting in front of that damn TV every day. I would be
I do
buying
wonder,
new phones
like,
to call Ezra on in case he's screening my calls. Like, yeah.
But I kind of wonder if, like, the fuck me. I wonder if the AD
Did the fly
stuff
just
is,
come
like,
knock your shit over?
No, this is the second time I've dropped
Drop
that.
what?
My notes.
Need those.
AD, like, that's probably occupying enough of her brain that she doesn't have to crash out the way, like, she doesn't have enough real estate to crash out the way that you would crash out.
Well, I guess that's true. They're talking on the news about how Nicole was, like, focusing on Ezra while she was gone, and that's what helped her keep herself alive. And Aria does say, like, I am like, okay, she's looking at this the right way, because she says, oh, well, it's just another reminder that there's nothing I can do until Ezra is done helping her, and obviously she still needs him. And, like, that is true. It's like, it's such a tough position, because you can't argue that what Nicole has gone through is horrible, but you also can't argue that what Aria is currently going through, Ezra aside or included, is also fucking horrible. And she looks at Hannah and Caleb and she's like, you two found your way back to each other. Ezra and I will too. So a lot of faith in this man who won't even speak to her. I'm like, the least you could do is pick up the fucking phone, Z.
Yeah,
right?
He should be calling her once a day.
It's crazy to me. Send her a bulleted list of updates at the end of the day before you go to bed. Like, something. Because the fact that what I hate is that, he's like, oh, well, I've got someone waiting for it. Like, I know she's there and she's running my business and she's taking care of my house. She's watering my plants. She's feeding my fish. I don't know if he has a fish, but she's feeding it if he does. You know what I mean? And he didn't even ask. He just assumed you're going to do all this stuff. As though she doesn't have another residence in Rosewood she could easily go to and not take care of your plants. You'll come back to dead plants. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just like,
if it was Caroline, he wouldn't be coming back to an apartment.
no, there wouldn't be much left. Okay, there wouldn't be much left. I think it's diabolical.
It is. We go to the hospital and Emily is visiting Toby.
Hey,
and
Emily,
Yvonne, and
why
she's
are you
awake?
here?
But
Sorry, my first question: why
that
are you watching Yvonne sleep? She doesn't know you.
they love to remind us that Emily and Toby are, like, friends.
I guess I just feel like maybe let's have Emily run into Tobes at the brew. Instead of her watching his bride to be sleep like in a coma and a forever sleep. Like, I don't know. It's weird.
She's not in the coma anymore. I think she's just visiting him to keep company.
I know, but Toby, like, isn't there in the first scene, like, there in the first shot. It's just Emily watching Yvonne through the glass or sitting next to her, whatever it is. Toby, like, approaches then with coffee. So I'm like, why the fuck is Emily just like hand on the glass, like, Yvonne?
I see it. I just feel like she came up to the room. He was like, I'll go get us some coffees. Wait here. And she was just like, oh my God.
I guess.
Life is short.
Okay. I guess that could have happened. So Toby does show up with those
Toby
coffees.
is like, yeah, she hasn't said anything
and
yet
goes,
and all this stuff.
She speaks. Emily has the magic touch. And Toby's like, oh, you're not leaving our side. Handcuffs her. He's like, I'm still a cop. Handcuffs her to Yvonne.
And you know what? He should have done that.
Yeah, he really should have. Emily instead goes to get the nurse. So we go to Caleb. He's grabbing some GPS trackers. They're going to go. Aria's got a lead on Sydney. They're trying to figure out if she's helping Jenna get around, because she did help Jenna get to the school for the blind on that fateful night, the night of the beheading, which I can't believe we're not talking about anymore.
The night of the beheading.
A man was
so funny.
horror movie haunted house beheaded in front of our eyes. Rolled down the stairs like a fucking bowling ball. Oh, and we're not going to mention it again?
It is crazy. Like,
I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, I know. At what point is it like just another day? You know what I mean? At what point is it like, just a Tuesday? I don't know. Seeing someone's head severed clearly off, clean off their body.
Like, that's different than anything they've ever seen before as a group.
He's not even nearly headless. Like, it's just, I just don't. I think it's crazy. Okay, there.
Yes. Okay, there, you said it. And then we get a knock on the door, and Caleb, it's like not just
right
a knock,
after
it's like
Hannah gets an alert on her phone that says it's time to play. Let me tell you, I'm not opening the door after that text.
Massive knocking on the door, and I'm like, okay, how did this happen?
And
because there's no one.
Thank you,
Caleb,
Phoebe.
why are you not chasing down the hallway?
You better both each run and take a different direction. Like, they can't be that far behind. You can probably still smell their
They
BO.
knocked on the door.
Exactly. Like, unless they had an extendo-arm. But it would have had to be
and
heavy.
there's always that option.
It would have had to be heavy. It was a loud knock. If I'm holding a long extendo arm, I'm in the building next door. I open my window. I open the window on Lucas's loft. I stick my extendo arm out my window, across the buildings, through that window, and knock on the door. Imagine how, first of all, hard. It would have to be so heavy. I'd have to operate it with buttons and like machines. Like, not just my own strength, because if it's like put a bowling ball on the end of like a really long toothpick. That's tough. And then get it out of there fast. Oh my God. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know that that's what happened. So if that's not what happened, then why didn't you guys run after the perpetrator?
Oh, well, they might have not. They might have just said, "Oh, AD's extendo arm," and they might not have thought it through all the way. Like,
you know what? We didn't get to read the instructions for the game, and I bet it's mentioned.
They are a
there.
bit startled.
Well, of course.
They don't really. I mean, they are like frozen in fear for a second because they open the door and Hannah goes, "Who is it?" And Caleb says, "You."
Okay, Caleb, shut the fuck up. Just shut the. Hey, Caleb, just go back to the toilet or whatever. Like, Jesus. I'm also like, what if it is this blind girl out there who she's running into walls out there trying to get out fast. You should be able to catch her, okay? God. If it's Noel, he doesn't have a head. He can't see shit. So, like, you should be able to go get him. Oh, my God. Ay. Mom's calling me. Mom, not a good time. Not a good time. I'm amped up.
Mom and I talked for an hour this morning.
Mom and I talked for 30 minutes ago. She misses me.
I love her.
So anyway, we answer the door.
It's the mannequin from when they all thought Hannah was hanged in the church.
I mean, this is actually the shit of nightmares.
And Hannah can't believe it because they wheel it in, and Hannah goes, "I can't believe you thought that was me."
And I'm like, get him. Hannah, get him. I'm also like,
and
sorry.
Caleb's like, well, I went a little crazy and I like ripped the mask off, and clearly they didn't have the budget for another one.
Their reactions,
they just had to sew your face right back on.
In my opinion, were not enough. The blood-curdling scream, I would have scrumped.
Guys.
Like,
everybody in Rosewood would know about AD if that had happened to Caroline.
Or you, admit it.
I'm more of a freezer.
Are you?
Though. Like, I think I could pass out from the fear for sure, but I don't know.
Like, to be honest, I think I'd be limp on the floor, unconscious. The door is shut on me, a heavy door. I'm now in half.
Well, because I'm so brittle.
It's like, it doesn't take much. The wind blows a certain way. We got to tape her back together. Humpty Dumpty vibes. Anyway, but let's round. Okay, so.
Thank you.
Hannah's like, all right, fine, Caleb. This stuff's happening. She tells him about the game and the phone.
Yeah, because earlier in the episode, Hannah makes like a roll the dice mention, and Emily gives this look to Hannah like,
don't.
And she goes,
about our
and
game.
Caleb's like, what's that mean? And Hannah says, nothing.
It's like when me and Caitlin, when we were kids, and we watched the Sky High, the movie, and we were like, this is the greatest piece of cinema we've ever seen. We're going to start playing this every day. We're going to start being the different characters and like just playing house kind of, but like we're Sky High.
Did you know this? The girl who plays Charlotte, and I can never remember her name, so sorry, in Sex and the City. Charlotte.
Oh, yeah.
What's her name?
I can't remember right now either. Wait. I don't know.
She almost played Mrs. Stronghold.
Really? She would have been fabulous.
But she was instead in Shark Boy and Lava Girl. But also, I do think the principal of the school is the original Wonder Woman.
I think you're correct about that. Yes.
And they couldn't, because they couldn't reference Wonder Woman directly in the movie. But there's a line in there where she says, who do you think I am? I'm not Wonder Woman.
Okay, I gotta watch Sky High again. By the way, we're gonna talk about it more on Tuesday, but I rewatched Freaky Friday last night, and like I was I mean, I've seen it a zillion times, obviously, but like this time I was just kind of like laying in bed watching it, and I was laughing out. Anthony's on a business trip. I'm like just there alone. It's like 3 a.m. I'm laughing out loud at some of the delivery. I was just like, this is so fucking funny.
Is it on Disney Plus?
Yeah. Like I was like, this isn't like funny for a kid's movie. This is like genuinely so fucking funny.
That's the thing. Disney stopped making movies like that, where it's like they worked for the whole family.
God.
I feel like after High School Musical, kind of, and even including High School Musical, the movies were so directed towards kids. And like we love High School Musical and Camp Rock and like those movies because it's what we were growing up with, but they didn't. And so they're aging well in that sense. But like Freaky Friday, even like Parent Trap, like movies from like the 90s into the early 2000s from Disney were like truly timeless family
I wonder
classics.
if it's because they weren't trying so hard to like, first of all, everyone's like sensitive. So I wonder if like that's part of the script changes. But like even the acting is so much stronger. Like Lindsay Lohan, I was thinking about it. I was like, she is seamlessly going from what like being Anna, whose door was just like, and it's so fucking funny, seamlessly into the mother who is, you know, like.
But I also just think even like having just bigger names attached to this stuff, like Jamie Lee Curtis
and,
doing
I mean,
it,
Chad
and like
Michael Murray
even
was
like
such a babe.
Chad Michael Murray being in it, Lindsay Lohan, like all this. Well, Jamie Lee Curtis said Lohan on the Lost Culture Awards, so
yeah, so I'm going Lohan today.
I think it's Lohan.
For today, I'll go Lohan. Also, I guess Jamie Lee redeemed herself, but also I'm like, some of the lines that Jamie Lee does are so fucking funny with like what her, even just her reading of one of the most iconic lines. Could you like chill for a sec? Like even just little moments like that. Like I'm not kidding you. I was laughing so fucking hard. I need you to watch it again and just like watch it through more of like a, like really watch it and you will see what I mean. I was taking notes on, and also Team Anna, Harry's a little shit. Justice for Anna. If I'm sorry if I got home and my twerp little brother and his friends were reading my diary, jumping on my bed, wearing my bras, I too would take my underwear and wrap it around his head so hard he almost suffocated. Yeah, like that's the normal response, is it not?
100%.
And it's
have
just
some
like
couth.
Literally, I was just like, oh my god, he sucks. Okay, so anyway, but he's so cute. All right, back to this. Okay.
So Caleb's gonna help. Caleb is like, there's a phone, like it could be watching you, could be listening to you, all this stuff. Hannah's like, Caleb, I know. And Caleb's like, well, let me get in there. Let me in, coach.
She goes, you stop. You can't play. It's not. It's just like not your turn. You can't. Sorry, we have enough players. Sorry, you can't play. Anyway, Spencer and Floozy walk into a place. I thought they were like here to volunteer. It turns out this is
it's like a rec center.
A rec center that he spent a lot of his time in growing up, and they were like reserved the rec room, which I am like, okay, then what are the kids doing? If Spencer and Floozy are the only people allowed to be in the ping pong room, what are the kids doing?
Yeah, I wonder. And Spencer says something kind of cynical, and he's like, are you always this cynical when someone does something nice for you? And I'm like, yeah.
Kind of, yes.
Kind
it's like her whole thing. So he wants to see if she can do ping pong, and they end up having a great time. She's really good at it. Okay, sorry. I went back and forth. We're back at the hospital with Toby and Yvonne, and she's like getting her motor skills and she's moving her hands and all these things. And so he pulls the wedding rings out and he's like, let's do it right now. And then we have a little hospital wedding where she puts the ring on his finger and says, I do, and all that stuff. So I guess Mr. and Mrs. Toby Kavanaugh.
Yes. Then we go to Lucas's loft, and Lucas says, look, Han, one of the investors' daughters reads Runway Rebel. Like, they heard that they're not super interested in this right now, and they could pull out, but he's really reassuring her that it's not really that big of a deal and that his company can absorb the costs, and he doesn't put it on her. He's like, I wouldn't have done this if I didn't believe in you.
He's like, I'll walk them through the numbers, you will wow them with your designs. And I'm like, what numbers?
No, and I'm also like, she might wow them with the design she has in her book, but she's being accused of stealing designs right now.
Yeah.
So like, Who's to say they're not going to be like, okay, those are great, but are they really yours?
She's like, no. Lucas, I'm scared I'm going to be literally sued. Like, I'm going to be sued. And he's like, and my company can absorb it. I'm like, okay, well, what? I guess I need to learn more about the company because that's impressive.
Because, hey, Lucas, I have some ideas to run by you probably.
Yeah. He thinks that the doll, so she's put a sheet over the Hannah doll and he thinks it's one of her designs and he goes to take the sheet off and she's like, no!
Closet. We couldn't put it in a closet.
Anywhere
bathroom,
else. This isn't actually your house,
room.
Hannah. And she stops and she's like, I just need the afternoon to put it together. I'll see you tonight. Everything's going to be great. Bye.
Then we go to Ezra's loft, and Emily and Aria are doing research on Sydney, and they found out that we get this really great picture where Sydney looks very inconspicuous, where we find out she went to the same gala as the Senator Daley's daughter, and we get this picture of Senator Daley posing on the carpet, and Sydney perfectly in frame taking a picture with her smartphone of the
literally.
The dress.
Like crazy. Actually, on the red carpet, back against the wall. Like, hilarious. So then they're like, well, could Sydney have been the one who shot Spencer? Why then would Jenna, like, say what she said to Floozy when she came in and, like, walked in on Spencer and Floozy? And we realized maybe that confession to the police from Jenna was to protect Sydney. So they're going to try and figure out what Sydney's up to, get some answers. Caleb's looking at the game. Hannah's at the loft, and there was something with the game that said, for more information, see the appendix. And she goes, Caleb, remember that game we used to play? She just describes Operation, can't remember what it's called. She has to cut into the doll's appendix. And the way she sets this up as though she is literally like in one of the Grey's Anatomy ORs working on a cadaver. Like,
oh, Hannah loves Grey's Anatomy.
Oh, she's such a Grey's girl, for sure.
For sure.
She said to Caleb one time behind closed doors, do you ever think, this is so mean, please don't tell anybody I said this. This is so mean. Do you ever think Aria's kind of like a pick-me? Anyway, so she's cutting into, and like the thing is bleeding, but I love that Hannah literally, like, you don't have to have a sterile environment, Hannah. You don't have to do all this. You could just stab it and rip it open. I know you don't want to get shit everywhere, but like, whatever.
For you, and I know I've watched it, so like my gut reaction is no at this point because I do know even subconsciously what happens.
Yeah.
But like if you were hand delivered this doll and then they said check the appendix,
it's the first thing I would do.
That's what I thought. I'm like, you're going through what would A have done to every appendix in the books in this apartment? Well, wait. That's what, because she goes, I've gone through every appendix of every book in this apartment.
Okay, yeah, no, I would immediately be like, I was just hand delivered a doll. Yeah. I'm about to rip this shit up. Yeah, 100%. She pulls something out. It's like in a bag and it says "Wear Me." So we'll find out what that is.
Rough as hell. Back
to Spencer playing ping pong. She's like a zillion missed calls from Aria. And she's ignored. She's like, you know what? I'm living in the moment. I'm unplugged. I'm having fun playing ping pong with my man.
And hey, Floozy, I clocked this. Spencer's explaining how she learned how to play ping pong, and she goes, I'm the ping pong champ at this camp all these years in a row. And Floozy goes, yeah, but all girls, right?
I can't believe Spencer didn't walk right out of that moment.
Insane.
Spencer, this is unlike you. I know you're having a bit of an identity crisis, but like,
right.
This isn't you.
But that's like, that wouldn't fly.
Hell no.
And you're beating him right now. So like, Floozy, shut up. And then they start talking about the camp more, and she's like, this killed me. I was like, Spencer, you are so fucking annoying. Because they're talking about the camp, and she goes, yeah, I went there as I was a kid. It was the same one that my mom went to. And then she pauses and she goes, adopted, Mom.
Hey, you don't even have to say that.
Hey, Spencer.
Are you begging him to ask you or what?
Shut the fuck up.
It seems like you're begging on your hands and knees for him to ask you. You're adopted? I didn't know that. Spencer, me either, till a few days ago. Also, like, you're talking to a cop. Let's not forget that. Be careful what you're sharing with him if you're not ready for that to be out there.
I think he knows.
Oh, I can't
that Mary
remember.
Drake is her mom because she brought the letter.
Oh,
to
yeah,
him.
she did say that. I'm sorry. So he starts talking about the shooting again and how they're going to try to figure out like what the gun was. And then her bullet wound, as though like it heard the word bullet, it just starts bleeding through her shirt. So he goes to get a first aid kit and like she's looking through all the memories and pictures that he's put on the walls as a kid and all these things. And then we go to Emily and Aria doing a stakeout.
Emily and Aria have called this girl 800 times.
I mean, first of all, do we not have Find My Friends?
Also, if the roles were reversed, Spencer would be tracking them. I mean, you
That's
know
what I'm
Spencer
saying.
put a
Spencer
tracker
would
on each
already
of
have
them.
dragged them out by their hair. She'd be like, I don't fucking care if you're playing ping pong. That's a girl sport. And she would have dragged them out by their hair and said, we have work to do. That's what would have
Oh my
happened there.
God.
And honestly, that's what I expect from Emily too, so I'm a little disappointed. Like, I would
Yeah.
love to watch Emily march in there and be like, let's go! Because we know she has it in her.
Yes. So we go to Aria and Emily. They're in the car and they are staking out Sydney. And Emily then
Aria is so annoying. She goes, okay, here is a femtocell with some added modifications from Caleb. And Emily's like, what the fuck? She's like, yep, I'm just gonna hack the phone, hack the mainframe, get everything uploaded to this device. Caleb taught me this morning. I'm a quick learner. Okay, bitch. Like, this is the first time you ever had to do this.
I kind of thought she was funny in this part of the
Sounds like something an Aria would say.
Well, we'll let the fans decide. We'll let the fans decide.
I mean, look, I had one Aria moment. One.
Right, and Caroline's
every woman's allotted
whole life.
one.
In Caroline's whole life, she's only had one
in my
Aria
whole entire
moment.
life. And Phoebe does read more Aria, and she knows that. And Phoebe knows that. She'll say it to you.
Which I think makes me less Aria.
Maybe that you're just like okay with it, which is
Well, it's not that I'm okay with
beyond
it, but
me.
I do
Just
acknowledge it.
well, okay, here's the deal. You're not like a nasty Aria. You just like, and to be fair, every time I post any like Aria mood board or something, everyone's obsessed with the Aria one. Like, I do get that on paper, that is like the girl we all wanted to be. And
then you watch the show.
And then you watch the show and you're like, and you're an adult and you're like, wait, this girl is an absolute massive biatch. And you realize that. And you're like, I see you for who you really are, Ria. So anyway, Sydney's leaving the office. She's a private banker. We didn't talk about that. So Emily's going to go in.
really rich people.
Yes. And they're like, so Sydney's got money. So Emily's going to go in there. While that's happening, Hannah is showing...
AD wants Hannah to wear into this meeting with a bunch of investors who I believe are from Japan. AD has delivered a kimono for her to wear.
And
a kimono dress that is so short.
So short that Caleb says it will show her spicy tuna roll. I do think this is like the first time we've really seen the acknowledgement of like cultural appropriation in this show.
Yeah, I noticed that too.
Which is interesting. Yeah, because when we don't see, like, I didn't immediately see what she was wearing or so. I don't know what it was, but then she's like, well, the investors are from Japan, so they're gonna be offended. And I was like, what? And then she's wearing it and I was like, oh my God. It's just interesting to see that for the first time in the show. And she tells Caleb, like, the game means I have to blow the meeting. Can you imagine the relief you would feel if you could finally tell your fucking boyfriend, your techno boy toy, what was going on?
And also, like, I know this is so fucked up and I know she's so upset when this happens, but like, thank God Caleb was in the hospital.
What?
Thank God Caleb's in the hospital later.
Oh my God, I forgot.
Wow.
I mean, I forgot everything. I'm just like looking through the notes and that's bringing me back a little bit. But this line broke my heart because Hannah's like, no, I was going to be impressive and creative and confident. People don't always see me that way. Oh,
no, that line killed me.
We see you that
line
way, Hannah,
killed me.
and we always have, and we will never stop. Even if you do things that are wrong, even if you kill somebody, okay, I'll still love you.
She could do anything. She could do absolutely.
She doesn't have a skin of a killer yet, does she?
Well, she killed Rollins.
Oh, whoops, sorry.
And actually, we listen. We'll defend Hannah to the day we die, but we did watch Hannah gun it.
and you know what I said? That's my girl. I said faster. I said floor it. Okay, so Caleb's like, well, what if you just like refuse to play? And then he's like, oh fuck, AD knows about Rollins. You're gonna go to jail. And she's like, can you stop this before tonight? And he's like, I'll try. And it's like, it's just hilarious to think that no one's ever been like, all right, can we just stop it before tonight? You know what I mean? Like, no one's ever been like, okay, we can get this wrapped up pretty quick, right?
Wait, can we just take a pause?
Yeah, I've got important shit going on. I actually don't have time to play this game.
This game. So we go to where Sydney's having coffee and I was just like, it was a blast from the past. You know those videos on TikTok that will be like nostalgia for like 2006 and it's like Norah Jones playing and it's like one of those like warm toned Starbuckses or like Panera's from that era. She's sitting in a chair that has like that kind of coffee design on it, and then the cups also look of that time, and I was like, take me back.
Even
Even though I thought it was ugly at the time, now I'm like, bring me back to that.
Said you to kiss me.
I actually got
when you
so annoyed
tried.
thinking about Mose the other day.
Well, yes.
No, not Mose the character.
Oh.
Her always. But I mean Mose
I was
the
like, okay,
restaurant.
where's the news?
I was like,
Oh.
the fact that Moe's the restaurant was like our last pillar of warmth in these
It's
kinds
still
of
there.
restaurants. No. What I mean is that they've redesigned in the last like 5 years. Where now it's turquoise
Yeah.
and gray.
But
And
I
it's
do
like,
think we're going to
no.
see things go back because
Moe's, you are yellow and orange and red.
Yeah,
and
true.
You've got kind of gross looking tables.
Yeah.
And we love it.
And that's like the whole vibe. That's the whole point. Anyway, so Emily walks up on Sydney. She's like, I'm here about Jenna. And Sydney looks terrified and says, I thought I would be hearing from the cops. All I did was deliver those drinks at the Radley. And Jenna just thought it was a practical joke. And I'm like, yeah, right. Did Jenna think it would be a practical joke to behead Noel Khan? I know she didn't do that, but I don't know that she didn't do that.
I
Like, I
wonder
don't know
if
who
Jenna
did.
knows that he was beheaded.
He did it
yet.
himself. Oh my, well, true. I wonder if anyone they just neglect to
Told
tell
her.
her. Because in my mind, I'm like, well, of
Like,
course, because she stopped his
yeah,
head with her
Noel's
foot.
dead.
Oh, she didn't know there was already a bowling ball that we never talked about that came down the steps for some fucking reason. Just so that Jenna wouldn't have to figure out. I just want the image of Jenna picking up the head and feeling the face to find out who it is. And then
Like,
screaming and dropping
like she
it.
tried
and
to
we hear,
with Toby.
Yes, exactly. That's what I wanted to see here. So Sydney's like, don't worry. That's the last favor I'm ever doing for her. And Sydney says, let me ask you a question. There is so much fucking bad blood between Jenna and you guys. What is your excuse to be all wrapped up in this? And Sydney has an appointment at the Vogel Vision Institute later today.
Aria's found that out because when Emily gets back into the car with Aria's like, okay, I'm hacked into her phone so I can see her calendar, her messages, all this
Yes,
stuff.
I forgot. That's why Emily had to talk to her for a while so that Aria could hack the phone.
Blue
yes,
snarf.
yes. Blue right. Okay.
Of course.
Note to self, don't forget what blue snarf means. You might think you don't
No.
need that knowledge anymore. You do. If you're watching the show, you do.
So we get back in the car. Aria figures that out. Vogel Vision Institute later today. And they're like, let's get there first and find out what she lied to Emily. Why she lied to, if she lied to Emily about Jenna. And Aria is loving being a hacker
She
girl.
is. She's like, okay, this is my whole new vibe. Who needs Ezra?
Like, she already ordered as soon as Blue Snarf was said this morning. She was on Amazon ordering a shirt that says Girls Who Code.
She's joined Carly Kloss's
She
Girls
just
Who
followed
Code.
Carly Kloss.
Yeah, exactly. She's like, have you ever heard of Khan Academy? It's amazing. She's in there learning how. So, they go in, they tap into her phone. Or no, I'm sorry. God damn.
They're still in
Sydney
the car.
goes in by
They're
herself.
watching.
They tap
Yeah.
into her phone from the car. They find out she's dropping off a deposit for a surgical procedure for Jenna Marshall. Okay, you just said it was the last favor you're ever doing for her, and I kind of believed you.
That was
Silly-
your first mistake.
Silly for you, me. So she
Aria
then
is
has to
like-
write down the initials AD for anonymous donor. And I want to say, hey, Aria, guess it does kind of have an AD in it now.
Aria says, looks like someone's buying Jenna a new pair of eyes. And this does, in a way, if you want to follow the trail, it does kind of work out with where Sydney works. Maybe there's still a shred of hope that she's telling some kind of truth.
Well, but no, because you're not going to say that's the last favor I ever do for her and then go deposit a check for her
Well,
eye
unless
surgery.
this is like for work. That's what I'm saying.
You think this is Sydney's job?
Potentially.
No. No.
Okay.
Anyway, so then Sydney gets a text. Sorry, I don't know what was going on. Sydney gets a text from a blocked number. It says, "Did you do it?" And she responds, "It's done." So whatever she needed to do, it's done.
It's done. We go to the rec center and Floozy is dressing Spencer's wound, and Spencer is like, hands are a lot bigger now and a lot less
goes-
purple.
She goes, hands are a lot bigger now and less purple.
It's kind of an Ella
He goes,
Montgomery.
I used to be shy and chubby. She can't believe this. She's like,
She may as well
what?
be like, oh my god, I need a chair.
She's like, wait,
I need to sit down.
Wait, you're a former fat kid? Okay, I'm outie.
Wait, that is
Okay,
really
I'm
not good for
outie.
if we were to have kids, this just wouldn't
Just
work out.
genetically, I just don't.
I'm not gonna have chubby kids.
Yes, Toby had an 8-pack when he was like a recluse, and that's
So
honestly,
I think
yeah.
we should kind of
Let's
just
call
put
it.
a pin in this.
Let's just call
Yeah.
it. Let's just call it
I
here.
think I'm good.
He tells Spencer like a lot about his past. He says his mom was addicted to pills. Spencer's like, been there, done that. That can be really hard. And then they're gonna go home. But Spencer hears music and she's like, let's stay. And she says, I forgot I'm not the first person who has a story about a birth mother and a surrogate mother. And he says, love the people that want the best for you. You don't have to choose between them. And then they kiss.
Hey, Spencer, if I had to guess who doesn't want what's best for you, I have one answer out of Vivi and Mary.
Yeah, same here. So we're back to Toby and Yvonne. They have their little hospital bed wedding. Now we're back to Sydney. And Aria, the hound dog, is tracking her down now on foot.
Emily comes up from the front and is like, why'd you lie to me? She says, wait, this is funny. Sydney sees Emily and goes, did you follow me here? And Emily goes, had to. You lied to me. And then right when she says that, Aria comes up and like
grabs her purse.
Her arms
She's being
through
mugged.
her. She like does it in a way though where it's like I'm grabbing your arm, like we're gonna walk close together, like linked arms, and
very
she takes
smooth.
her back with the other hand and then hands it to Emily.
I want to see the footage of Aria and Emily practicing this maneuver before they did this. And Aria's like, okay,
with a
then
stranger.
you be Sydney. Yeah, with the stranger. But it is honestly, this moment kind of eats. And Aria goes, I'm going to explain how this is going to work. We're going to take a nice little drive to go visit your friend Jenna. And on the way there, you're going to tell us how you know someone with the initials AD. And if you don't, we'll keep showing up. Yoga at Ludlow Street, drinks with your friends at 9 p.m. I'm done talking now, so let's go. Move it. And I was like, okay, I'll give credit where credit is due. Work, little
crazy,
work, little girl.
Crazy. And we find out that AD is a work client. So I was right, Caroline.
Okay, fine.
In
Sydney,
theory, if she's telling the truth.
Right, in theory. Okay, fine. Sydney tries to get her bag
Caroline
back.
Caroline can stomach the idea of me being right if it's only in theory.
In theory, yeah, no, it's totally fine if it's in theory. Totally, I'm with you. If it's in theory, no problem. So Aria knocks her legs out from under her when Sydney tries to get her bag back and goes, tell us what you know about AD. And then she like doesn't right away. She goes, answer the freaking question. She's having so
Lucy
much
Hale
fun.
Lucy Hale's the only one who got this script and at the table read and was like, yes.
No, literally.
This
She's
is
like,
awesome.
finally, it's been a Hannah show for a few seasons now, for a few episodes now. I hate it. Anyway, Sydney's like, look, I want to cut ties with Jenna. Her games are a little too dangerous for me. You should stay away from her too. Aria gives her the bag back and says, here, don't forget your yoga pants. And Sydney goes, namaste, bitch. I love it. But of course, there's a GPS tracker in her bag.
Yes, they did that. So then we go to the barn and Spencer comes in and
Emily
sees Caleb.
Calls Hannah.
Oh, just with an update.
Okay.
We go to the barn. Spencer comes in and sees Caleb working on the game.
I like that Caleb's in Spencer's house and Spencer walks in and she's like, ah! She's like terrified to see him in here. I'm like, you guys were naked in here all the time, like a week ago. But also, Caleb, you're just like in here. I just think it's kind of funny.
And Spencer's like, Hannah told you?
She's like, I knew.
So pissed.
She's like, wow, okay. No integrity. Got it. Got it. Not trustworthy. Okay, cool. Can't keep a fucking
What's it
secret.
like dating
Got
someone
it.
like that?
Yeah. Caleb, I want it better for you, but I'm with Floozy now, so sorry.
And Caleb's like, she kind of had to. A brought the game to our front door. Literally.
That's the game coming to life. That's exactly what it sounded like.
That's kind of like one of the sound effects that like triggers my brain to go back to Christmas Carol.
Great. We're here again with the Christmas Carol. God, this is Phoebe's Roman Empire, is the production of a lyrical Christmas Carol that I was in when I was like single digits. She can't stand that. If you don't know about that, that's a you problem. I do just need to say quickly, and like this is completely unrelated, but we'll bring it back next week on Tuesday or in the Popcast on the Patreon this week. But Less Culture, Recess Culture Awards were last night. What a gift. What an absolute gift. Kelly came over to watch with me. And, you know, she's not like a podcast girl. She's a pop culture girl, but really through me. Like, she doesn't, you know, she's not really like trying to keep up with everything that much. Not in a derogatory way. It starts and she was like, so this is like a weird award show, right? It's just, and I was like, yeah, it's like, the categories are like really weird. Like I was like, yeah, it's just kind of comedy. I was like, it's something they've been doing. I was trying to explain it to her.
I didn't know how to explain it either.
I was like, it's just like, you'll get it. And then she's looking at in the beginning when they're introducing all the people, she goes, holy shit. She's like, wait, this is like the most random assortment of people ever, but they're all so cool. And I was like, yeah, it's my dream party.
It's just our brain.
Specifically, Caroline Connell's dream surprise party is everyone in this room right now. And then they're doing their opening. They're walking through their, nominations.
By the way, guys, Andy Cohen looked sexy.
He looked so good. Kelly is laughing out loud over and over and over. She goes, oh my God, this is so funny. She was, and I was like, this is such a gift to like hear you reacting to this and not like, what the fuck am I watching? Like loving it and genuinely seeing how funny it is. And it's just like,
there is a bit of fear with it because it's like, you might not get it.
You might not get it. But she got it. And it was just like, I was thinking about all the people and their homes around the world who were having that same moment, and just like really warms my heart.
Because how many people do you think after the Valley reunion were just like, I'll just keep it on?
And also like how amazing, like they were on, if you didn't watch What Happens from Monday with Matt and Bowen, it's so funny. Did you watch it?
I watched clips of it.
Oh my God. I was laughing the whole time. And you can tell Andy's having the best time ever. He's obsessed with them, which is always so fun to see. And Andy was like, this is the most fun award show I've ever been a part of, like ever been to. Like it was so great. And he was
really
like,
hope the ratings did well.
I know. He was like, tomorrow night, you guys on Bravo. And then afterwards, I heard him talking about like the Watch What Happens with Allison Brie and Dave Franco at some point. And he was like, after the Las Culturistas Culture Awards. And I was like, how cute that he like, I know it's probably on the teleprompter, but I'm just like, the
Nobody
idea
loves it.
that he is like, I want you guys to all watch this. I feel like it's so great. The Angie K, we'll talk about it all later, but I mean, holy shit, it was just so good. So anyway, okay, we're back to the game. Caleb thinks this game feels hack proof, but then he decides he's going to look underneath these buildings, and they're like, you know what? Let's address the elephant in the room. We fucked, we fell in love, and now you're back with your ex. So let's just have a drink and be okay. And very easily they're fine again. And Spencer tells
this
him
is
about
another one of those
Floozy.
lines. Caleb goes, I'll have a beer if you have it. And Spencer goes, Spencer says it like someone on the Food Network talks about, like it's very Ina Garten coded. She goes, you know what? That sounds really good. I'm going to have one too.
Sounds really good. I was going to have my usual cup of vodka.
Pinot Noir.
Yeah. I just am like, Spencer's always on like the hard stuff. Like I know we see her drink wine. We don't see her drink
She's
cups
like,
of vodka, but in my
she's like
mind.
Amy Adams and Sharp Objects.
Oh, yes. Yes. 100%. So Spencer they're talking about Floozy. Caleb's like, is he good to you? And whatever. And he opens something on the game and he gets shot with like some sort of fucking gas or something. And it is like he literally starts to die. Spencer calls 911.
It's like he's like grabs his heart and he like can't breathe and he can't talk.
Crazy.
Then we go to the Radley. Lucas and Hannah are getting ready to go up, and Hannah's like, thank you. And I just need you to promise me that we will always, always, always be friends.
She's wearing a trench coat, so you can't see the kimono, but you can see it at the top. And I've seen this image of her so many times with the trench coat, and I always thought it was a little neck scarf. Now knowing what it is, I'm like, oh, so sinister.
I'm a little bit like, okay, I know AD is like see all whatever, but like, couldn't you just like wear it in there?
Yeah, or just keep the jacket on.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, I don't know why you couldn't.
Would I know the difference?
I feel like fashion people wear weird stuff sometimes. So even if it was like, why are you still wearing the coat? She'd be like, it's the look. You know what I mean? Like you could just say that. And if you're a fashion designer, it's like fine.
That's what I'm saying. I don't. If like AD, would they know? Anyway.
So she meets Lucas in the lobby, and that's where she's like, she goes, you are the most generous friend in whatever happens up there. It is just like sweet, but like, ugh. And he goes, let's go wow those investors and make $1 gajillion.
And then Hannah gets a text and she like freaks out. And at first we think it's AD as the audience. Lucas doesn't know what it is.
Be.
And then she's like, Caleb's in the hospital. And Lucas says, you go, give me your sketches. I'll take care of it.
Saved by Caleb in the hospital.
And it's almost like, I mean, I'm sure it was an automatic trigger that triggered the gas. But I also am like, I wonder if AD was like, I guess he's
getting too close.
Pick and choose.
Yeah, maybe.
Whether I want Hannah to go through with this or
right.
Caleb goes to the hospital.
Right. So Toby and Yvonne were at the hospital. They're having butterscotch crimpets for their wedding cake, and they're going to save the last one for their first anniversary. And they start talking about their honeymoon and, you know, even though it's probably not going to happen, they want to talk about it anyway. And they go on and on and on. And like, am I crazy? Did she die?
Yeah.
Oh my God. She's like talking all about where she wants to go, travel the world, all this beautiful ice skating rink that's all lit up at night. She's holding a bouquet of flowers.
She said that one of the places that she wants to go most in the world and life ever is Moscow in the winter.
That sounds like hell on earth. Have you heard about Moscow in the winter?
Like the last place I want to be ever, really, but specifically in the winter.
Makes me think of Chess the Musical. Oh, I love it. I just Sorry, I'm just going into my Gaga moves.
Right. But yeah, so she's talking about that, and then she drops the flowers, and Caroline wasn't sure if she was dead.
I was like, did she just go back in her coma? Like come on, she's been in a coma. It's not crazy for me to like, did she fall asleep? Like, is she on drugs? I don't know.
No, but then we see, well, I guess you would forget, but we do see Toby come into the lobby and like collapse.
Yeah. Well, at that point, I realized what happened. But when it first, I was like, whoa. Did she just die? I was like, what? I couldn't believe it.
Marlene said, we gotta get all our classic couples back together somehow.
Yes. Well, they also were like, okay, Yvonne is either going to live long enough to see herself become the villain, or she's going to die a hero. Like, she's been too good. You know, she hasn't really had a bad moment. The longer she stays in the show, the more she's just like at risk, you know, to be tarnished. So they had to kill her.
They had to. We go to Caleb's room in the hospital, and we get a memory of when
memory maybe
of when Hannah first met Caleb, really, and sprayed him with hairspray in the school after hours because she found him living in the vents.
Yes.
So she sprayed him with hairspray. And he said, remember that feeling? Remember how bad that was? This is worse. And to that I say, hey, Caleb, yeah, I guess that.
He told the people at the hospital, he's like, well, I couldn't exactly say it was poisoned by a toxic version of Candyland. So he said he was cleaning the bathtub with bleach and ammonia and knocked himself out, and there were no lab tests and no questions. Okay, what happened to your eyes then?
Yeah.
Right? Like, what happened to your fucking eyes? So then Hannah explains that Lucas is covering the meeting, and he's like, but isn't that kind of like skipping your turn? And she's over it. She doesn't care about the game, but she does get a text. She goes to the lobby where we have Spencer, Emily, and Aria. And
Spencer like basically stands between Hannah and Aria before Aria can start screaming at Hannah.
Yes.
And she says, hey, guys, she had to tell Caleb.
I couldn't believe it.
Aria, like we talked about earlier, she had to tell Caleb what happened.
Tell him, had to.
And she's fragile, so we're not gonna freak out, and we're not gonna yell
Aria's
at
like,
Hannah.
sorry, I'm still roided up. I still have roid rage from earlier.
You should have seen me earlier, Spence.
Sorry. I was just all jacked up. Anyway, then Hannah says that she got a text saying she lost her turn, so she doesn't get a puzzle piece. And Emily is so fucking mad. And Emily's like, hey, it's not like taking your turn makes you a winner. And she says, I guess that depends on whose turn it is. Spencer's was way easier. All you have to do is visit a friend, which is true. And Aria makes a really good point. She's like, okay, but an unfair game keeps us off balance and bickering. And that has always been the point. It has always been, how can we get these girls at each other's throats? I'm like, maybe that was the baby thing. Again, we're never going to talk about it. We're never going to revisit that. So, but I can draw that inference maybe.
And so Hannah goes back to Caleb. Spencer's going to go check on Toby and Yvonne on the way out. Not with Emily. Wonder why. Emily is taking she's gonna take watch of Sydney. She's gonna be on watch, and she's gonna see that the GPS is on the move. And Aria,
she drops Aria off at the loft.
Yeah.
And at this point, Spencer sees Toby devastated in a suit, and he just falls into the ground, falls into Spencer's arms while he sobs and holds her, and then she starts sobbing, and they're holding
really
each other.
sad.
I have in my notes here, did she die? I obviously didn't realize that she had died at that point.
I actually think that Toby is like, this was a really, like, I thought he did a good job.
I thought it was a really strong acting moment.
When you see him like turn around the corner and like he can't even keep his legs from buckling, and he like has no control over his arms.
Us knowing what just happened, and seeing Spencer, where it's like the one person that he probably feels safe to completely break, who's not Yvonne, who he's had to be strong for this entire time because she's been in the hospital, and it's like Spencer's kind of been that person that like you don't have to be strong for, and so he just breaks, and this is the only way they were going to get Spowie back together without us hating both of them. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I can't imagine another way that we are supportive of it and Yvonne hasn't died and we don't get this sort of moment. So it was really sad, a really nice moment. We go to Aria, who's calling Ezra. She's like, can you fucking call me back? And
guys,
I'm like, finally.
This is crazy. This scene is wild.
So she finds out. So she's talking about the brew, which I, until this point, didn't realize like she was in charge of operations.
She's managing it. Sabrina quits, and she's like, "Hey, Ezra, Sabrina's out of here, and I don't know how to bake. Like, I need you to help me. Like, I want to be able to interview people.
You. Like, I don't know what you want. I've never run a business before. I'm younger than you. Have you forgotten?"
She's like screaming in the phone, and then she's facing the cabinets in the kitchen, and we are looking at the other side of the apartment. So we're facing her.
Someone's in the house, of course.
and we see someone. It's kind of like the episode where they were in the hospital in like the burn victim unit, and like that one cast
just
like
sits up. Yeah.
Because that's how this person gets up off the couch. So surely it's AD. And then Aria turns around, grabs a knife. Not the knife I would pick if I
wrote
needed
that
to
she pulled a
defend
gun, so that's obviously not true because you've got details on the knife. So I
She
was like,
pulled
when
the
did
one
Aria get a gun?
Imagine.
I was like, this is
After
not
Shauna.
Aria. This is not you. Aria, this is not you.
After Shauna.
Yeah.
It's like one of those knives that isn't like sharp on the point. It's like rounded and then
I think it's like a bread knife, maybe.
kind of, but it's not serrated like a bread knife.
Oh,
but it's not
yeah,
the
yeah.
knife. It's not like a chef's knife that would like you could really stab someone with. I'm sure this would hurt, but it's not like
I have no doubt.
it's not the knife I would have reached for.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Dude,
the
I couldn't
person-
believe this. The light turns
the person
on.
there, Nicole.
Huh? It. I mean, it's crazy. I kind of can't wait for next episode. And then we get our A scene. Phoebe, take it away.
But it's not really an A
It's
scene,
not,
is
but
it?
it really does feel like it at first. And I was like, are they trying to tell us something with this?
Mm-hmm. Because at first we see like the classic gloves and AD. These scenes they've had more latexy gloves rather than like the leather thick gloves. And there's a manila envelope, classic, with like super neat Sharpie handwriting that says Rosewood PD. And we open it up, and then we get from the table up. So now we're seeing who's looking at it. It's the police. Fury is doing this, and we see him do it. And when he opens it, he like gets a really bad whiff of a terrible smell.
Can you imagine?
And he's like, "That's not good." and also, cops like if like that have been around for a while and have been on like they know that smell.
Yes,
immediately.
you know that you don't like. I think I've heard cops on like movies be like, you don't forget the smell of like rotting flesh. Like it's a smell that is.
So he can like tell immediately, and very neatly in the envelope is like a towel that's wrapped really nicely with a bow on it, and he does it and he unrolls it, and there is a finger.
Fucking finger, like a decaying finger. Gotta be Knowles, right?
No, I think it's Rollins.
Oh, duh. I'm like, I'm desperate for more Knoll, obviously. I can't stop.
The thing about the Knoll thing is that we know that police showed up.
Yeah,
and Spencer was shot. So like
True.
they know what happened.
I can't believe there's been like no funeral for Noel Khan. The town isn't ablaze talking about this. Like, can you believe that?
I know. The son of a judge was beheaded at an abandoned blind
One of the most like
school.
notorious Rosewood families. He's got older siblings. They're like cemented in the community. Like, and it wasn't just like he just tell died of natural causes.
Our family would be talking about it.
We'd be having a lot of conversations about it. So Floozy has someone call forensics, and that is the end of the episode. Oh my God. All right, Phoebe, let's get the synopsis for next week. We are back at it.
Season 7, episode 14. Allie's back. Allie's turn at the game causes her to remember a forgotten...
What is the name of the episode?
Power play. Did I not say that?
Nope.
Allie's turn at the game causes her to remember a forgotten trauma. Spencer talks to her father about his past sins. Aria continues to question the fate of her relationship with Ezra. Hannah and Spencer run into a familiar face with a shocking secret.
Do you ever feel like the synopses are like different everywhere you look? Because on HBO Max, they're actually maybe one sentence long.
And they're very brief. It's very also vague. Not like but when you Google it, it's a bunch of semicolons and it like walks you through each character.
Okay,
kind of.
I should start doing that. Okay, let's start doing that now that we only have however many episodes left. Also, guys, there will be more to come on sort of what our next chapter looks like and what the transition will be like. But for those of you who don't know, we are continuing the podcast. I get a lot of like questions still. They're like, what are you guys gonna do when it's over? We're still going to be podcasting. We're going to be doing Gossip Girl, as we said. We're going to be doing pop culture. We're going to be doing a lot of fun stuff. But we can't just like do the last episode of Pretty Little Liars and leave it there. Like, we're going to have a lot to say about it. A lot of you guys have wanted us to like watch the Mike's Mike stuff and talk about that. I would love to do an episode where you guys kind of send in theories or moments or things like that you've wanted us to talk about more in depth from the every season, but especially then once we will have seen all of it, or I will have seen all of it. You guys can send in things like, okay, let's revisit these moments. We're going to do more punch bowls. We have a very exciting episode planned that I'm not ready to tell you about yet, but it's really exciting. And we're going to need your participation with that. So stay tuned. But there's a lot of exciting stuff to come just because we are heading into like the last 7 episodes of this season doesn't mean that the Pretty Little Liars content ends. We've got a lot more in the hopper before we can say goodbye to the show. So stick with us. We love you guys so much. If you haven't already, we released a great popcast on Tuesday. We are doing a popcast on the Patreon this weekend for our first tier. That's a $3 tier with like a ton of episodes. So you can go listen to all of them. We're going to talk about the LCCAs in depth. Join us next week on Tuesday for another popcast and Punch Bowl on the Patreon next week along with our recap. We love you guys so much. Thank you for listening. We will see you next week. And splat. And that was the game again. You know.